Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie, and I'm a full-time trader in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin, Luna, and HEX as per request. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just the way that I see the market. A lot of people have asked about my course. It is not quite complete. I am finishing up a few last touches. If you are interested in starting to watch the unedited material now, you can purchase the 6 months plan and start watching it. And when it's released, you will have access to the course. This is a heck of a pre-sale, as you can call it, because you're basically getting the course for free. Don't miss this opportunity because I'll be done within a week, okay? And it'll be released. It is going to be very affordable for everyone. I want to be able to reach out to many, many people, and times are tough right now, and it's going to be very affordable. All right, let's get started. I know that there is fear out there right now that we are going to capitulate. Yes, there is a high probability that that is going to happen, and we're going to talk about it, okay? If you missed my last video, I went over what to look for when we potentially find a bottom. If you missed it, it's a must watch. I am on the 3-month time frame. You can see that every time that we have come down, that we have held the 21 on the 3-month time frame. So if we do capitulate, it is looking very likely that around 20K is the target. The 3-month time frame, it's sitting at 19,000. If we move down to the monthly, you can see that we have always wicked through or held the 50. That's the green. That is sitting at 20,000. If we move down to the weekly, let me squish this in a little bit here. You can see that when we've lost the 100, which we are underneath it, that worst case, we've wicked down to the 300. That is sitting at 16,300. But we always have either held the 200 or wicked through it and closed back to it. And that is sitting at 21,000. So if we were to capitulate, I feel that there's a good chance that we may wick below, but end up closing back around 21,000. Okay? All right. I have 3 indicators on my chart. This one is an indicator that you get when you join the Discord. This is my go-to indicator. I love this indicator. The second one is Market Liberator. You can join their Discord, and for a very small donation, you can have this Cypher indicator. The third one is a good friend of mine. His name is Upland. He has a website called Unrekted. He has 9 indicators in his package. This is my all-time favorite one, and I'm going to talk about why. Just simple talk about why. We are on the weekly time frame. What it is basically Bollinger Bands. They are made out of moving averages. So basically, if you look at the yellow, that is the top of the band, and the bottom yellow is the bottom of the band. The white is the top, the bottom is the white, the bottom of the white band. Okay? Got a little tongue twisted there. The idea here, and it works like a charm, is if we are inside the box, price has to stay within inside the band. So right now, red is inside the box. It means that we can't break red to the upside and we can't break red to the downside, and it's way down there, okay? But let's take a look at the white. The white is sitting at 46,000 and the bottom is sitting at approximately 36. Notice that right here, the white came out of the bottom of this box. At that point, price was able to break the white. And the reason I'm talking about this is because right below us, sitting at 34,000, is the bottom of the blue. The blue is still inside the box. As long as it remains there and does not come out the bottom, price is going to hold there. It will not close a weekly candle underneath it. Now, if we continue to dump, it will eventually bring blue out the bottom. And at that point is when capitulation is most likely going to happen, because it's going to come all the way down to one of the moving averages that I showed you, or it's going to come down to the bottom of yellow. Okay, so very useful indicator. Okay, not going to dive deeply into it. All I wanted to say is that blue will hold until it comes out the bottom. Okay, on the 4-day, see how yellow is holding us? We haven't been able to close this candle underneath it. That is because yellow is still inside. Very close to being out the bottom, but yellow is still inside. So as long as it's inside, we're not closing this 4-day candle underneath it. But like I said, it is very, very close to coming out the bottom. And that means that price can drop and capitulate if it comes out the bottom. On the 2-day, as you can see, red has been holding price. Well, it's because red is still in the box. Very close to the bottom. If it comes out, then price can break it. And you will know exactly, pretty much to the T, when price is going to capitulate, if it's going to, okay? Very interesting indicators, okay? All right. The link is in the description below about how to get these. Okay, let's talk about RSI. I said in all of my videos that on the weekly time frame, I didn't want to lose 40. I talk a lot about the bullish and the bearish ranges. The bullish range is from 40 and above. The bearish range is from 70 and below. And we have been in the bearish range, it's from this top of the all-time high. The minute that we were rejected at 70, that was your clue that a top was in. We have not been able to transition out of this since then. What it has to do to transition is it's going to have to push up above 70, and then it's going to have to hold the bullish zone, and then it's going to have to push up above 70 again. If it can do that, we can get back up in the bullish zone and trend like we are in a bull run. Notice how we stay up in the bullish zone when we're doing that. Right now, I'm not going to lie or sugarcoat it, we are very bearish. Very bearish. As you can see, every time that we have broken 40, okay, right here was one time, we dumped pretty significantly. There was a time before that, it's just not on this chart. Here, when we broke 40, we dumped very partially. Well, we've broken it. Price is doing a pretty good job right now of holding on. But it's mainly because we're being held up by support, that last little bit at 30K. Okay. And the indicator that I talked about. All right. We still have these gaps underneath us. I've talked about each level, that if we break 30K, we're likely coming down to 20K, the top of this bull run. If we lose 20K, you can see where the volume is coming in. Okay, the support right here. And that's where we would go next. All right, let's move on down to the daily. We do have this downward motion, and so far we're holding a straight across motion. We don't want to lose that. We don't want RSI to break 30 and wipe that off the table. It would not be good. Okay. You can clearly see where the support is ending. Okay. We lose the level of 31,300 and it's going to be a free fall. There'll be stops along the way, but it's going to free fall. Okay. Let's talk about what counts we have available to us. Now, I know a lot of people are still looking at the triangle, and they're drawing it like this. Got a lot of comments that D could be in. I've talked about why I don't like it, because of some symmetry. Triangles like symmetry. Okay. This only hit a 382, where the other ones hit a 786. But there's no rule about a triangle that can't do this. But here's the thing, guys. We're overshooting the trend line for E. Now, this is allowed. We are allowed to overshoot the trend line. But we can absolutely not break the price level of C. And that is sitting at 32,933. We have to make a higher low than that. And we're very close. So if the triangle is going to happen, we've got to turn around. And very soon. Okay. This is probably the least likely scenario, is the triangle. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about a few things here. I know that we want to call this wave right here a 1 and a 2. Okay. And that we want to say this is 3, that we're putting in 4, and we want that 5th wave to the upside. We need to consider, okay, that we put in the 5th wave, meaning that this was a 1, this was a 2, this was a 3, this was a 4, and this was a 5. We need to consider it. Because if we do capitulate and we dump severely hard and we come into this wave 1, then there's no wave that we're going to get to the upside, because that's going to be an invalidation. Now, if we can stay out of it, if we can hold 20K, okay, we'll just miss it. Okay. And we can just say that this was a deep 4 and we're going to get a fifth to the upside. Another thing to consider is rule of alteration. If 2 is deep, and obviously that was deep, we would expect 4 to be shallow. And that's exactly what it did if this is the 4. We wouldn't expect 4 to be deep because the 2 and the 4 like to be opposites in time, in depth, and the type of correction. Okay? So, honestly, I am leaning that the 5th wave is in. Okay? And that we are coming down somewhere in this area. And this is a higher degree 3rd at the top here. And we're going to set in a higher degree 4. I know that this is not what a lot of people want, but think of it this way. What a buy it would be, and the wave that would come afterwards would be a bull run. That's how big it would be. Okay? So, yes, we would be in a long, drawn-out bear market again. But when this wave comes, it'll be worth it. Okay? Another thing I want to talk about is I know that, again, there's a lot of fear out there. Okay? If you bought anywhere in this area and above and don't feel like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that when they don't have a solid system behind them. Okay? I did that. We all do it when we're beginning. Okay? But if you did buy in this upper area, please do not panic sell if we capitulate. Don't give your crypto back to the exchange at a cheaper price. Okay? Yes, you will have to hold on to it, maybe for a year, maybe for 2 years, but I can guarantee you one day we're going to take out this all-time high. The people that panic sold into this, the people that panic sold into this, I'm sure they're kicking themselves now when all of this happened. And if you panic sell into the capitulation, when the day comes that we break the high, you're going to be kicking yourself because we will break it one day. Now, if you bought somewhere down in here and there's profits to be had, well, make your line in the sand somewhere. If you want to secure those to buy in lower, you decide what your line in the sand is. Okay, I think I'm done with my little preaching session. But I just care about everyone, and I don't want to see you make the mistakes that I did and that everyone else does. Don't give your crypto back. Hold on to it. You have not lost a thing until you give it back at a lesser price than you bought it at. Okay? We will come back to 69K one day. Okay? All right. Let's talk about what these counts can be. Okay, we talked about the triangle. Let's talk about the last alternate possibility that we could get a leg to the upside. Okay. All right. There is a possibility that we're coming to an end here, and this is going to be a WXY. You can see where these three fib levels are lining up very nicely, right approximately at 34,000 to 33,950. Okay, we're very close to it. If we can put in a bottom and pivot, we could get this leg to the upside. Now, it'll still be an X wave, but it'll give us a relief rally. The last option on the table is that we don't hold that one and we come down to this next level. The first one is on linear scale. Okay. Switch to log, and then the next one is right here. This is what I call the expanded B pocket. It would turn this into an A wave. This would be a B that breaks the low just barely, and then we get a C to the upside. Okay. This is the last area sitting at 32,300. Okay. It would assume that we would get another rollover. If you did not watch my latest video before this one, I talked about what to look for in the bottoms and how to tell and be confident that it's bottoming. Okay. If you haven't watched it, it's a good one. Okay. But it would assume we'd roll over one more time and be able to come out of here in a 5-wave move. If we lose this extension, then there's really no hope, because there's not another extension that's overlapping for us like these are. It wouldn't make any sense. They're just scattered down here, and there's nothing else overlapping. So it's either we've got to pivot where we're at right now, or one more down. Okay? And there's still a chance that we can pivot to the upside, right? And get a relief rally. We still come down afterwards, but it would be a relief rally. Okay, if we do not pivot and it just keeps going, then I see it as the bearish option of, let me find it here. What did I do with it? Well, I didn't save it. Oh, here it is. Sorry. All right. It's assuming that we're still doing WXY, and this is not a 5th wave up here. Okay. The first option is that we're making a C wave down, and this is the last level that it has a chance to hold at 30,500. I don't particularly like this count, and I'll tell you why. It's possible, okay, it's assuming that we made an expanding diagonal for A, this was B, and we're making C. But the reason I think that it's probably less likely is because this first leg, when it set in the W, it created a 3-wave move, which is 1 correction. Created a 3-wave move, which is 2 corrections. Then a 3-wave move that is 3 corrections. It used 3 corrections to make W. X was 3 corrections. it would be less probable that we would just make one here and it would be over. But it is possible. But if we lose 30,500 and we don't pivot upwards, then I see it as that we're going to get 3 corrections. Just like the top leg would need a partner and it would need 3 corrections. This would be the first. We'd pivot up in 3 waves, and then we would come down in 3 or 5 to finish off this Y at approximately 20K. Okay? It's pretty much that simple. We have got to pivot soon. Whether we're going to hold here and it's going to turn around for us, or we are going to get this alternate count where we get this leg to the upside. Now with this one, just to clarify, this is still W. X would just be moved over. And then we still need this. Okay. The only option we have is that this is going to truncate as a Y and hold here with 1 correction. Okay. All right, let's move on over to Luna. Luna is pretty simple to me. Okay. The highest point on the RSI is right here where the 3rd wave is. This clearly looks like a 4th. This gets a little weird up in here. Okay, but I think that it ended in an expanding diagonal where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 3 wave moves. You can clearly see we're coming out of this expanding diagonal. Now, this really looks done to me. Okay, but if I'm wrong about this count, then we do not want to break this low right here, sitting at 43.58, the bottom of this wave. The reason being is I could be wrong about the expanding diagonal, and this is a wave 1 of a 5th wave that's going to be overextended. So basically what happens, and I explained this in the last Luna video, is you set in the 5 waves or the 3 waves, okay, that, and this could be argued, of 5 waves. And you think that it's an ending 5 waves, and it's actually a beginning. And this 5th wave gets overextended. And what this is the wave 1 of the 5th. But it has to hold and not break 43.58. If it does, then in my book, this 5th is in. And just like Bitcoin, it's coming down for some type of higher degree 4th. So this would be top of a 3rd. Higher degree 4th likes to come into a prior degree 4th. And eventually, just like Bitcoin, we'll get the big 5th wave that breaks this all-time high. Okay. All right, HEX as per request. I see HEX also is potentially being done. It made a 3-wave move. We have a 3-wave move in the middle here. And then it made a 3-wave move. The problem is at this point, the market did not make a 5-wave move. to get us out of here. It made a 3-wave move. So this means that we are making a connector that is now going to connect this leg to the connector to the downside. Probably it's creating a higher degree fourth that's going to come right in to these two lower degree fourths. And then eventually we'll get the big wave to the upside. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was understandable. Let me know in the comments. And I will see you in the next one. And to all you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day.